what you specialize in, Jeff, can help so many people. It can help the entrepreneur. It can help. These type of skills can help a person that is looking for a job. I'm thinking about
Yes.
so many of my friends in my age group. They found themselves in between jobs, switching careers, unemployed. And
Yeah.
they're thinking, I have skills, but how do I actually use the skills or the knowledge and information that I have to persuade a employer to hire me?
Yeah.
So this can work in so many different venues, so many different fields and avenues. Once you learn and become an industry expert and learn how to promote yourself as an industry expert. So, wow,
and be bold about it. Like, be bold.
Yeah,
Get it out
yeah.
there. I mean, if you don't believe in yourself and you don't believe you're the industry expert, if you don't believe you're the guru, no one else is going to believe you. So this needs to start at home. It needs to start in your own head. You have to believe this. And now, like in my case, yes, and now I have a new book behind it. I've written the book on persuasive communications. I have to be bold in my statement. For your audience, the same thing. If you're looking out for the next job, become the industry expert. Become the go-to person. Start by believing it yourself.
Right. Okay. Wow. Yeah. I've had several mentees, and I've been their mentor, and I'll look at their resume and I'll say, okay, you want to go into broadcasting and you want to be a radio talk show host, but you have these skills and you've had positions in the past and they're not on your resume. And so it's like, why aren't they here? And they're like, oh, really? I should have that one there. And I'm like, yes. So, Jeff, we're going to have a brief word from one of our sponsors, and we'll be right back. I want to let my listeners know you're listening to Partners in Health and Biz. My special guest this morning is Mr. Jeff Tippett, Mr. Persuasion. The topic is your superpower, persuasive communication. And Jeff is here and just giving us all types of knowledge and information about how we can have how we have our superpower, and how we can use the superpower of persuasion. So, the call-in number to Partners in Health and Biz, we have room for one quick caller, 347-945-7433, 347-945-7433. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. Let's be creative with Carrie. Caricatures by Carrie, available for weddings, parties, anniversaries, corporate events, and more. Children's book author, superheroes, and cartoon illustrator, logo and graphic designer. Contact Carrie for your customized creations. Caricatures by Carrie at gmail.com. Connect on Twitter and Instagram with hashtag CaricatureCarrie and check him out. www.carriegjohnsondraws.com. And we are back. You're listening to Partners in Health and Biz on PIH Radio, www.pihradio.net. And I'm here with Jeff Tippett, and he is such a powerful, persuasive communicator. So, Jeff, wow. Tell us, how does helping others, because you do this all the time, every day, how does helping others help you? I know when I help others, I feel so good about myself, but how does it work for you?
Absolutely. So Zig Ziglar said it this way. He said, you will get everything in life that you want if you just help enough other people get what they want. And I have a chapter in my book where I delve and I go deep into this. But before going into any of that, I encourage us all.
I love Zig. I have
right?
so much of his information. Yeah, he's definitely one. Unfortunately, we lost him, but Zig, thank you so much. Go right ahead.
But we still have his knowledge with us to
That's
impact
right.
us, in our daily lives. But I encourage people to, first of all, before we even look at any of this, is to examine our heart and examine our motives. Because honestly, Gail, sometimes we're about ourselves. And we're about what it is that we want, making bank, putting money in there, getting a sale done, doing what it is that we want to do. And our whole focus is just on ourselves and what we want. And we have to check that. We have to rethink that. We have to approach this differently and say, you know what? I'm going to spend my life helping other people. And as I help other people get what it is that they want, in return, as long as we stay in our lane, right, and we're taking care of ourselves at the same time. This isn't about self-gluttony. We got to take care of ourselves in this. But we put our focus on other people. And there are a few ways to do that, a few tips to help those that are listening. It's first of all, the first step in this is listen to the other person. I mean, how many times in conversation are we about ourselves? Or in sales, we're about ourselves, and we're talking about the benefits of the product, or we're talking about all the aspects of what this product happens to be. When first, what if we listen? And we just listen. What I have found, my experience, Gail, is that people will pretty much tell me everything I need to know if I just stop talking long enough to listen to them. So step one is to listen, to give people space to talk about what's important to them.
Right. Yeah. People need
and
to.
And then next, after we listen, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
So once we listen to them and we hear what they say, the next step of this, the second part is to ask questions and to ask clarifying questions. Gail, if you're like I am, if you've ever been in a relationship with someone, how many times has this happened where one person says something, the other person hears it, but what they hear is not what the person said, and they go running all down. If you've been married, this has probably happened in your marriage, or if you've been in any type of close relationship with someone,
Exactly.
They say something and you go running and they're like, whoa, wait, that's not even what I was talking about. So the second thing, after you listen, is ask them questions and ask not yes, no questions. Ask them clarifying questions. And this is a chance to even get more information out of them. And get what this tells people is that you care, that you do care about what's important to them. You do care about what's happening in their world. So ask them clarifying questions. And then the third, here's where the fun part happens, right? When we know, think of a Venn diagram and a big circle of what it is you want. And then the second diagram there is them and what they want. And we've learned that because we've listened and we've asked questions. And that center section there of alignment, that's that magical place. That's where what they want and what you want align. Your focus is on them, but you're keeping in mind what it is that you want, and that's the place of persuasion, of listening to the other person.
Right, because so many times at the end of someone speaking, and I have problems with a few people in my life, but not my mate, because we've overcome those type of things, and you get to the point where you say, does that make sense to you? Because sometimes you're talking, and then if the person says no, I don't understand, then you need to go back and say, well, let me clarify, or what is it that you don't understand? And I have a problem with people that talk, and don't even let you get in one word edgewise, because they talk so fast and they never slow down, so you can jump in, right? Because I see, Jeff, you do that, so I love that about you. But there are people I've talked to, and they talk so fast, and I'm like, I finally have to say, can I say something? Can I say something? So, yes, this asking questions, clarifying, this is listening. Listening is the main thing, like you said. How can you help other people if you don't understand what they need? So you have to be able to listen. So this is so wonderful. And so how do we form a solid connection with others? I guess this kind of ties all in, communicating and persuasion. So how do we develop that solid connection with others?
Gail, it's one of the most important things that we can do is to have that bond. And when I'm on stage, there are three things that I look for when I finish a presentation. One is that I brought energy and I brought passion about my subject matter. The second one is that I brought actionable content. When I walk off stage, I want people to know what to do next and have steps that they can take. But then the third thing is I want them to feel an emotional connection with me. And of course, this is all to the degree in which your audience or the person that you're speaking with will allow you to make a connection. But when it comes to persuading others and finding that common ground, again, because what we're not talking about here is we're not talking about manipulation where we're just forcing ourselves. We want to have that connection because what they say, what's important to them, matters to us. So how do we do it? A few tips here. First of all is humor. Humor is one of the best tools that we can use, and especially if you are in sales. Like, there's a defense mechanism that's up all the time when you're going to speak with others.
Yes, don't I know that well?
Exactly. So when we start with humor and we can get the other person to laugh, it diffuses and it bonds us. It's so important to me as a speaker that I'm in the middle of a 10-week course on writing and performing stand-up comedy. Why am I investing time with my busy schedule? Because I know if I can get people to laugh, I can bond with them. So humor is the first one. The second one is compassion, like really caring about what someone else is going through. And it might be sad or it might be happy, but having compassion for what they're going through. And like to go to our earlier point about helping others, if we don't listen, we don't know that. Right, Gail? We've got to be able to listen to them to know how. And then the third step, what if we take it even deeper than compassion? What about if we have empathy, which means that not only do we understand, but we feel it. We feel it deep inside of ourselves. If they just had a baby and celebrating, we feel that joy. If they just lost a client, we feel the sadness that they're going through, that we have empathy with them. So humor, compassion, empathy, storytelling is another great way. Frame this up into a story. Put a person into the story. And finally, authenticity. Being willing just to be real with people.
That's right.
When I'm on stage, I talk about my failures more than I talk about my successes, and people like hearing that.
Okay. Wow, Jeff, we're down to like the 3-minute mark. So I want you to get a chance to talk about your view of the greater good, but of course, and how it positively impacts lives. But more importantly, I want you to let folks know how they can get in contact with you so that you can help them to be a persuasive speaker, communicator, and have utilized their superpower.
Absolutely. The easiest way is to find me through my website, which is jefftippett.com, JEFFTIPPETT.com, and I have Google AdWords and all kind of misspellings of my name. So if you get somewhere close, you'll likely find my website through one of my ads.
Okay. JeffTippett.com, you say?
Absolutely, that's it.
Okay. All right. And I guess can you, in about a minute and a half, talk about your view of the greater good and how it positively impacts lives?
Absolutely. So quickly here, as I mentioned, I adopted a baby from the country of Haiti, and when I completed the adoption, I was standing in the airport in Miami holding her, looking down at her, and for a few moments I felt extremely proud of the accomplishment that I had done. But that immediately went out the window, and I started wondering about her life. What would she be? Would she be a doctor and heal people? Would she be a humanitarian and relieve suffering? Would she be a teacher and impact hundreds of lives that would impact thousands of other lives? And while I couldn't answer any of those questions, what I didn't at that point know was this, that my adoption wasn't over. This was just the beginning, like tossing a pebble into a lake or a pond, and you see that ripple effect. She's going to go on to impact lives well beyond me. And often in our careers and our businesses, we get so bogged down by emails and meetings and having coffee with people that I think it's a value to lift our head back up and realize that as we persuade people, as we work to positively impact other people's lives, that the effects are going to live beyond us and the people that we know, and we're going to do good that exceeds beyond us. And at least for me, that wakes me up in the morning. It motivates me to get up and go live life to its fullest, knowing I can impact lives beyond myself.
Wonderful. Fantastic. Well, Jeff Tippett, I want to thank you so much for being my special guest. I do not want you to be a stranger. I'd like to invite you to come back and share more with my audience. Talk about your book your new book when it comes out, and just come back on and share any kind of upcoming or new things that are going on in your life. So, any final words before we close out the show?